And I welcome you all. We have quite a number of people that are on the training, and I still see some others coming in. So we'll try and start off a little slow and then pick up once we have enough quorum. But since you are here on time, I would want us to hit the ground running. My name is John from Remotix Solutions Limited, and I will be your trainer for QuickBooks Online today. And I hope you can all hear me. Marianne, if there is any sound issues, just go ahead and drop me a message. So a quick introduction, John again, and I am with my colleague here, Marianne, who will answer any questions. If you have any questions on the chat as we go, we'll go ahead and address them. Now, real quick, so that we can make the most out of this 60, maximum 90 minutes of the QuickBooks training, I would prefer that we note down all the questions and raise them at the end of the training, unless it's something that is really pressing. That way we do not digress and we keep it kind of straight and to the benefit of everyone. The goal of this QuickBooks Online training is to empower you to move from the manual or the Excel or the other maybe taxing platform that you're using to a simplified financial system. And the main audience for this training is people that own businesses, accountants, bookkeepers, financial managers, supervisors, and even operations manager who are looking to streamline their operations by using a product that best suits your needs, whether it's on expenses, it's on invoicing, quotations, all that. And at the end of the day also to show you the overall health of your business and how well it is performing. So it can make it easy for you to run your business without having to worry about having to go back on your old written receipts or to something that you're not clear on. QuickBooks helps you to put everything in one simplified platform that tracks all your ins and outs as far as finances are concerned. So the trading agenda will be an overview of QuickBooks, and then we'll do a quick company setup, and then we'll do a couple of invoices and sales, how to raise invoices, how to raise receipts and bills, and anything else that is involved with sales. Then we'll do expenses and billing, and then we'll show you how to enter expenses in QuickBooks Online, how to raise bills, how to do recurring invoices, and then we'll do the inventory basics, showing you for those of you that are running organizations or businesses that have inventory, which is commonly known as stock. And then we'll do a Q&A and a practice session sort of. Now that's where we'll bring in all the questions, and then we'll wind up by giving you what the next step will be and what you need to empower yourself. Now, for those that may or may not know, QuickBooks started off way out then with QuickBooks Desktop. And they have recently transitioned to QuickBooks Online, which has the advantage of you being able to access your QuickBooks from anywhere, either from your PC, your tablet, your phone. They even have an app for the phone. And it makes it easy for you to actually even do things on the go. You don't necessarily have to be tied into sitting on one computer in the office. As long as you have the right access and permissions, you are able to access QuickBooks Online and do everything else that would have been done on QuickBooks Desktop then, but now more mature and more streamlined and more available to you, whether you're working from home or whether you're in the office. Now, QuickBooks Online comes in 3 different plans, which I'll quickly go over, and then nothing for now to worry about. Those are things that can be discussed at a personal level. But we have what we call the Essentials, the Plus, which is most preferred for the Kenyan market, and the Advanced for the most advanced organizations that have very, very special needs. Some functions of QuickBooks include invoicing and payments, bill management, time tracking, stock tracking, checking on project profitability, and then it comes in with custom user roles where you can customize the access of a user based on their needs and what they need to view and what they need not to view. It has advanced reporting, batch invoicing, and batch invoicing and batch expenses, automation of workflows, and you have a good sort of 24-hour support just in case you run into any issues with QuickBooks Online. So depending on what the need of your organization is, you could go for as low as the essential, which is good for service-based small businesses that need to basically track billing and expenses. And then for most of the Kenyan users currently are using QuickBooks Plus, which allows you to do that plus inventory management, job costing, or even manage multiple projects for those that are in the NGO business. For the advanced, very few people that go for that because it's very specific and has a very mature functions that the other two are missing, which is for scaling businesses that need deeper reporting, automation, and user control. Nothing that we would want to discuss right now on that unless you have very, very specific needs as far as managing users and automation is concerned. So for this training, we'll focus primarily on QuickBooks Plus, which serves the needs of most of the Kenyan users. So here we go. Whatever we are seeing here is a setup file for QuickBooks Online. This is a sample file that we created just to show you the type of dashboard. Every time you log into QuickBooks, you will get, or rather, you can set it up to always show this. So this is what you will normally see when you log into QuickBooks and you want to see the health of your business. So it kind of gives you a dashboard that has your bank accounts, the profit and loss, the expenses, your sales, and we'll dive into that more granular as we go by. But before we do all that, the best thing is that we walk through the baby steps and see how do you create a brand new QuickBooks file, assuming today you've had access to it. Then what's next? How do you do it? So I'm going to go ahead and jump in real quick and start the first step of creating a brand new file. And it takes a few minutes to do that. And then we'll go on to how to now use the file. So for the legal business name is how you sort of identify yourself. So you have this portion, or I will say ABD or XYZ trading business, or NGO plus NGO, whatever you are, or you can give yourself any name on this. So you put that in, and then you choose the industry. The reason for choosing the industry is it automatically auto-generates chart of accounts that are related to your industry. For those that have accounting background, when we throw that name chart of accounts, I'm sure they know what that is. So if you say repair and maintenance, it will generate accounts that have to do with repair and maintenance. That doesn't mean that you cannot create your own. You can create up to 40 unique chart of accounts within your QuickBooks Online, but just by choosing the industry, it saves you a number of minutes having to go through, as a salon, do we have beauty care product account? Do we have dryer account? So because it will automatically load based on your industry. But if you're not sure, we always say other. It will just load the basic one. And then I would say maybe we are resellers of products, because we are all in different industries. So I don't want to be very specific so that we can at least all align to what I will put in there. Then we'll say either you're sole trader, partnership, limited company, or just company. And then this is an optional one. I'll just want to say we've been in business for between 1 and 2 years. And then we'll go next. Then it will ask you several things. Again, this really assists you in setting up your QuickBooks. Do you send and track invoices? Do you track your VAT? Do you pay employees? Do you track your bills? Do you organize your expenses? Do you want to track your retail sales? Do you want to manage your stock? I always try and advise companies or accountants or business owners to check as much as they need. You can always turn it on afterwards, but for now, it's best that you say, yes, I do that, I track that, I pay my employees. I'll come back to this. Let's check this for now. And then I track my bills and I manage my stock and everything else. Yeah. And then we'll say that. And there we go. Within very few, like less than 5 minutes, you have your account set up, a brand new account that is ready for you to go. As you can see, it's very similar to what we were looking at before. It has a bank account, the profit and loss, expenses, and everything else that you need to see, and you have your dashboard here. So that is simply how you quickly create a QuickBooks account. I mean, you can go all fancy and go to settings, and once you go to account and settings, you can customize it to your own need. Like, for example, you can put the company logo, and then after that, you enter your PIN and your KRA PIN, and then you will, let's actually do some of this. Let's quickly go ahead and add a logo. I hope I can get a quick logo here. I'll put just a QuickBooks logo here right there, and I'll open that. And I'll save. A little bit unresponsive, but we'll keep that, but we'll come back to it. And then you can put your PIN, which is the KRA PIN, P1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then you can save that. Let's hope it will save. I'm not sure what's going on. Anyway, it's saying invalid PIN. I think the PIN is supposed to be how many numbers? Let's see, P00. Let's put P001. Let's see whether it will take that. There we go. So we have our KRA PIN, and we are trying to add our logo here. Not sure why it's not responding on the logo. Let's try that. Okay, we'll come back with it. Anyway, you get the gist. But the importance of this is that every document you raise that you raise either an invoice, a receipt, it comes with your logo because it pulls it from up here. But that's how you add the logo. Then you can come down here and say it's a limited, whatever tax forms that you need, either sole proprietor or all the options we have, small business, non-profit, which are the NGOs, others which are not classified. Then you say you are in whichever industry that you are, just like we mentioned. And then here comes in the important information, which is you will put in your email address, you put in your phone number, and the website if you have one. Once you save all these, they also are replicated on your invoices and your receipts, which you can send automatically from QuickBooks Online to either WhatsApp or an email address. Something else that is of importance, if you don't wish to put, you can put all these. Again, they're not mandatory. Not most people use PO boxes, but hey, if you feel like you want to put your PO box and the location and everything, all that will be done and then replicated in your document. Then you go to usage real quick. The usage part shows you that for this particular one, you have up to 5 users, 5 concurrent users that can log into this QuickBooks, each with their unique username and password, which you as the admin will create within the system. And If you're interested, we can walk you through that. So not only do you have access to this QuickBooks, there are 5 more people that can have access, and you can even choose what they can do. You may have only one person who only raises receipts, cannot see anything, rather cannot raise invoices, can only raise receipts, can only manage stock. So you have up to 5 users that can use one account at the same cost, no extra cost. Those users are sharing one account, each has their own unique login, but they can work on the same QuickBooks Online account. Then it will allow you to create. Remember what I talked about chart of accounts? It will allow you to create up to 250, sorry, I said 40, 250 chart of accounts that will monitor your accounting on the end. And then we go to sales. So do you want to customize transaction numbers? Do you want to show the date for those that are in the service industry? Do you want to show the date the service was done? Do you want to have discounts on, deposits on? Do you want to tag any type of transaction? Tagging meaning that you're doing a special project, and for all those invoices for your own in-house review, you want them to be tagged in a specific way. That way, when you're going to run the report, you can run the report by a specific tag. Invoice instructions. Those are for those of us that have to put pay to M-Pesa till number, pay to pay bill number on all the invoices. So that note will be there on the invoices if you do that. Then we'll go to product, and this is somewhere that we'll spend a little bit time on. Product. Do you have SKU? Do you want to show product and service columns on sales form? You want to track quantity of your stock? Do you want to track quantity on hand? All that. Do you want to track inventory for different channels you have? All that can be found here. And thank you again for those that are joining. Welcome. We are not going too far. We're still within the introduction part of QuickBooks and how to create a QuickBooks file. Do you want to do progressive invoicing? That is where you are doing a project and you want to bill as you go. Do you want to do that? What is your default email message sent on the sales form? Is there anything that you always have to repeat when you're sending those messages through a form? Do you want to turn on reminders? Do you want all these? There are so many options that you can tweak and change based on your industry. So it is not glued to one area. And this is the heart and engine of QuickBooks. When you come to your account and settings, you decide, or you make it, you decide what you want it to do. So you can turn it on or off. So for this particular case, we will track quantities because we'll look at stock. We'll track inventory. And then we don't need SKU for this purpose. And then let's see what else. Statement, yes. And let's see whether you want to turn on this. Our till number is, that goes out for all the people that want something to show up on their invoices. Our till number is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we'll save that, and that will show up on all the particular document that you picked that for. We'll go back to settings again. We had a small glitch. And let's see whether it held that. Yeah, it saved it. Let's try again and see whether it will take our logo. Now, for some reason, it doesn't seem to want to take our logo today. But either way, you get the gist of it. I mean, the logo will show up on all your documents. So let's go to expenses. Do you want to show items table on expenses and purchase form? Do you show tag fields, track expenses and item by customer? You know what? A lot of people mentioned about wanting to track their expenses. So for this purpose, we'll turn this one on. Make expenses and items billable. If you're expensing towards a specific project, this is normally on the NGO industry. If they are doing a project in Mandera, Turkana, and they want to expense that, make sure that that expense is tied to a particular project, they turn these ones on. But for now, we'll leave that off. Do you do purchase orders, LPOs? Yes, I want to say yes. And do you want to track them using a custom transaction number? Maybe not. You just want to use a regular QuickBooks tracking number. Do you want a default message like, please find our purchase order attached to this email? Thank you, XYZ. We'll say yes. And then we'll save that. And also at this point, you can also set your QuickBooks to CC. Every time it sends an LPO, it can CC another email, maybe your boss's email, maybe your own personal email, whatever you want. You can set that up, and it'll once you send that invoice or LPO, it will CC that particular person. So we'll say done on that, and let's go back again to accounts and setting and finish one or two things, and then we can jump into the time tracking. There are companies who do time tracking and time sheets, and they bill their work or services by hour. I do not want to jump onto this because we don't have a huge audience on that, but if you're interested, we can definitely go through on a one-on-one. And then you can go to advanced. When do you close your financial year? I mean, when is your first month of tax? Accounting method, is it accrual for accountants? I think there are two options, accrual and there's a different one. So accountants know what we're talking about. Do you want us to be able to close the book? You want to enable account numbers? Yes. Some people are very particular. They want a chart of accounts to also have numbers next to them. Do you want to track classes? For this particular training, I'll turn this on, and we'll see. It will be able to show us how to track classes and how to track. And I'll also say, well, maybe not. It will take too much time, but you can check where it will warn you if you don't have a class associated to a transaction. I will not do that. You want to track locations. There are people who want to track a shop A and shop B and shop C to see which shop is doing what in terms of expenses and income. So you say track classes, and I also want to track locations. This is a little bit deep on automation, so we'll skip that. This is good for the NGOs where they want to organize all job-related activities in one place, and a language is English. The currency is Kenyan shillings, and I am sure there is maybe one or two of you who do deal with multi-currency. You have a supplier who tells you in Chinese yuan, and you pay somebody else in dollars. So at this point in time, you switch and add a currency. The most important thing is to know if you don't use it, don't turn it on, because once you go south, you cannot come back. Once you set multi-currency, it has to always have multi-currency. You cannot you cannot say now I stop doing multi-currency. It will still have all the other currencies. So for the purpose of this training, I do not want to turn it on because it will turn on and ask me which other currencies I use. But if you have this particular need, again, this is something we can pick up on offline. So I'll say no. I'll cancel it. Date format, currency format, one me if duplicate transactions are there, one me if a bill system that's already been used for a supplier, all that. So we'll say we're done. So the basic setting took us like 5 minutes, but now tailoring your QuickBooks Online to your own specific needs, another may be a good class or take 20 minutes because it's 30 minutes on top of the hour. So it takes you a good 30 minutes to get it going to your specific needs. So let's jump in now to a live environment of QuickBooks and how it works. Maybe I will need to switch back to my other file that already has data. That way, it's easier for you to see live data. So at this point in time, I'm switching from the dummy file that we created called XYZ Trading. and we'll switch back to our learning environment. So there we go. Assuming we've successfully created our QuickBooks file, and which we just did, and here we have row, like the dashboard. Our first step will be to add a customer. You have a new customer that has come in, and you want to add a new customer that to do business with them. So again, you go down here on the very left menu. Two menus that will be very important for you and can help you. The very most left menu and the cogwheel. The cogwheel is up here. Those are your two friends. That's where you find everything from your company, your list, your tools, and your profile. But for this particular one, you can either be here or go to the left. Those are the two easiest way of mastering QuickBooks in a very short time. So go to sales and customer. So we already have some customers on this dummy file that we created, and we can pick them and do business with them if they are coming back again to buy, or we can create our new customer. So for this purpose, here we're going to create a new customer. What currency are you trading with them? It's Kenyan shilling. And customer display name, we'll call them Jane C. Company name, Safaricom, for example. Email, all these are optional, by the way. So if you really want to do it real quick and you come back here, you can always edit. So I'll skip them for now because they do sometimes take a while. So they are optional. You have the address, all that, all the beautiful things. Maybe you can say, I never sell to them on credit because you probably know them. So you can add that as a note. That will always show you. And I believe they won't be able to see anything on their end on your own personal note. And then primary, how do they pay? Do they pay M-Pesa? Terms is that you may be doing business with people that you have very special terms. Like, for example, they pay after 15 days, or they pay after 30, 60, whichever. Sales tax registration. This is very important when you have to do withholding, you have to claim VAT, you may want their PIN at this point in time. Opening balance, by the time you're starting QuickBooks, did they have any deni with you? Did they have any debt? That's what you put in. It will help you manage that on your chart of account and also on your report to bring the debt that they had with you before you even started using QuickBooks. So I think we have filled in all the mandatory fields. The rest, again, they are very optional, and you can fill them in at your own time. Let's go ahead and put in a fictitious email address, abc@abc.com, and we'll save that. So we just created a customer called Safaricom, I believe so, and we want to do business with them. So how do you do business with them? You go ahead and send several things you can do. You can either invoice them, you can do a payment receipt, you can create an estimate, a sales receipt, credit note, and everything else, including running a report on them. But in this case, we don't have anything to run on them. So again, to start off, we'll do an estimate. Jane, ABC, their billing address, and let's see what we sell. And I'll come back to this. So don't worry about how did the products or services get here. I'll show you how to add products and services. So we'll say, assuming it's a service, for those that are maybe in the service industry. You remember when we were setting up, we turned on service date on for those that are in the service industry. But if you're in the product and selling, you don't have to turn on the service date so that you don't have to get this call-up. So we'll say, for those that are in the service industry, service, and let's say we sold them t-shirts, and then it was XL, and then the description, 10 adult t-shirts. And then there were 10 Each was going at 3.5, and they are inclusive of KRA VAT. Something else, we'll talk about how to set your VAT. Those that are exempt, those that are zero rated, whatever that your field goes into. But as you can see, it's already done 3.5 down here. It's added VAT 16%, and we have the total. Now, remember, for those that I mentioned that we can do classes, here we go, especially for anyone within the realm of NGO, or even a trader who has classified his transaction. Let's say, for example, you have a project that you're doing outside of your normal day thing, but is related to your business. Like you've been given a tender, and you want to track how much expenses and income you got from that tender. You can say, I want to have a special class. Do you know what? You can run reports, and you can have visibility for P&L, trial balance, and all other reports based on that particular class. It could be that tender that you are given by the government. You want to know, how much did I spend on that tender? How much did I gain from that tender? What is my profit to that tender? That is where classes come in very handy. So for now, I don't know whether you have any classes. We don't. So we are going to go ahead and add a new class, and we will say this is Nairobi County tender, Nairobi tender that you did. It's not necessarily your everyday business, but you want to track it. I'm sure all of you understand the gist. Whether it's a special shop you've opened, it is tracked within your QuickBooks, the overall, but you can even granularly track it as an individual project. So we'll say we're given that tender, and I want to go ahead and save. So we're just about to send Jane an estimate. So we'll say save. It's been saved. By saving now, you've recorded it in your account, and it's going to affect your chart of account. So we'll say save and send. So here is your blah 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 blah. It will tell you everything. Dear Jane, please find your estimate, and all these are things you can customize under your settings. So it is estimate from test ABC. That's your company. Please Jane find blah 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 blah. And this is what they will get. And the output is normally in PDF if they want to open it, but they also see a summary on the body of the email. So you could either print and send it out through WhatsApp, still as a PDF, or you could either send and close. So for the purpose of this, I don't want to print because let's go ahead and even print. But again, I wanted to mention this. You remember where we were not able to put the logo? Your logo would have come up here for this transaction, and everything else will show up as it is. But remember, QuickBooks has templates, so you are able to customize the look of your estimate, invoices, receipts. If you feel there's too much noise on this, you can adjust it to something very, very small. If you feel like you want to have very specific details, like we only take 50%, I mean, you need to pay 50% down payment and 50 within 30 days, all that can be captured because it comes in with templates that you can pick and use them as you so. So whatever you're seeing here is not written on like a hard rock. No, you can always change the view, and everything else will show. So we'll say we just want to print because you're sending them through WhatsApp, and then we'll save as usual. So you can save on your PC and put it out on WhatsApp or any other platform you want, or rather you can send it through email. So we just finished creating an estimate for Jane. So close that for now because we already have estimates, but remember it's already in the system. So Jane has seen the estimate. What is the beauty of QuickBooks Online? You can automatically convert that to an invoice. It has a feature right there. So we'll say create invoice. He's accepted, or you even bargain. You can go back and change the amount, and it is now right now in 30 something. Let's say, for example, you've bargained, but instead of going to create another new invoice, you've bargained and he said, no, the max I can do is 3K. So this is how you raise the invoice. There you go. Changed everything, including how much is due. And then you can walk through the next step like you just did with the estimate. You can save it, send it to her, blah, 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 blah. But for now, we just save. Perfect. Jane has accepted the invoice. And now it's your time to do what? Receive payment. So you just come back here. And by the way, of course, those things would not happen quickly, as I am saying. So I'm sure they probably will happen a day. Each will happen a day after. So you only go back to the particular receipt and convert it to invoice. You go back to the particular invoice and convert it to receive payment. So he has said he sent you the payment, so you're receiving the payment. And then you choose where that money went. Did it go to your M-Pesa? Did it go to tech, cash, whatever it was? And by the way, you can add even other things like Equity Bank, any bank you told me. So we'll say it came through M-Pesa, and I'll classify that under my chart of account as cash and equivalent. And there we go. So, and save. Jane has paid everything. And you can even send. Let me show you how to actually send her an acknowledgement that you've received her payment. There we go. Dear Jane, please find our payment receipt, and it blows up everything, including the let's print it and see what it sees. It sees all that. You see that, and the payment has been received. Perfect. Let's go back to we've completely finished the whole process of estimate through invoice to receiving payment. Now let's go back to something else here that I wanted to mention, and it's about the customer Jane herself. Now, if we close all these and go back to our customer, Jane, now we actually have a history. So if you look up Jane under your customer, you see the history of your process and how it went through and the date and the document. If you also want to run a report, you can now run a report on Jane as an individual. But briefly, you do see your history with Jane. And we can also go to other customers here. Let's see customers and see whether we can be able to see the same history, like the Canvas culture. Here is our history with Canvas culture. And some customers will have a lot of history with them. I do not want to digress, as I will have a part of the reporting, but that's just a brief on it. Now, let's go ahead and track unpaid invoices. Let's assume you have raised invoices that have not been paid. So we go to invoices, and there we go. We have a dashboard. The dashboard shows us those people that have paid, the money that has been deposited, paid and deposited. The difference is that you mark the money as received, but you never directed QuickBooks to say whether it went through M-Pesa or it went to your bank. We have another client called Canvas that is due in 22 days and everything else. You can see all that. So this is a quick way of you seeing where you are financially as far as receivable are concerned. Okay. Now, we'll switch gears a little bit and now go to the other side of the business, which is you now tracking your expenses. Because we've pretty much covered the all sale, the estimates, the customers. Now let's do the expenses, which is again an area where I've realized a lot of people have interest in. Remember when we were setting up the chart of accounts? It allowed us to create such accounts, use and subscription, office expenses, rent, cost of sale, office, miscellaneous. You can even put delivery if you have a bike rider that keeps on you do business with them, or rather you regularly send and you feel you want to track. You can literally track every expense on your operations using the expenses module of QuickBooks. So that is how it comes up. Again, we went from expenses. So when I do a new transaction, so you have a bill. You want to enter a bill that has just come through. and we'll say the bill is from, let's say you realize that you have an office expenses. Yeah, let's look for something very, very, very across the board. On bill. Now they have on bills, but again, you can always add the communication. Let's see. But you can always add this or change it. Let's look for something more. Okay, let's just pick rent. At least either almost all of us, or at least most of us, have rent. So say rent for June, but you get the gist. You can even put in your airtime that you use in the office and everything else on your books or your everything you buy out there, the ink, the cartridges. You can put them here. You can say rent for July. Amount is 20,000. We pay tax on the rent. No, maybe not. Is it rent for a particular project? No, it's a regular rent. Does it have a particular class? Was I doing it for a particular purpose? Let's assume no. So we're there, and I think the supplier is our landlord, and we'll pick this is the supplier. We don't have there you go. Let's add one new supplier, and we'll just call them landlord. Okay. So there we go. We will save, and we've just completed entering our rent for July, which is zero rate. That doesn't have it's not vatable, and there we go. That's how you do the bill. Then after that, you can either mark it as paid. If it's not paid, or whatever time it's paid, you will do whatever that needs to be done here, and you will choose you paid it from pay bill account or whatever you paid it from, and save and close. And if the landlord also wants a copy of it, you can send to them. So all these are expenses that we've created in the system, the training system, that you can see when you paid, what type of was it a bill or an expense, and then who you paid to, and the amount you paid the expenses for. And it can even show you can add a column to which bank it was charged from. So that's as far as expenses are concerned. Oh, something else. Under bills, let's see whether we can find a bill that is you can attach. Sometimes you're able to attach. Let's see whether what the part of attaching is. Copy. You can attach a receipt. If you want to attach, you can, or you can add a memo. You can say we are paying arrears. That way, in the future, if you want to verify why you paid twice, you know that there's your own internal note paying late or something. Paying late. And then you can save that. There's also an option to attach. So let me see if I can find it. Oh, there you go. You can attach. Like if the landlord sent you an invoice, or you're paying something that already has a receipt, you can attach that. So that's how bills, or rather that's how you track your expenses in QuickBooks. And we'll dive into how the reports look like to make your life very easy. As long as you give the system the correct and the right information, it will not disappoint you. It will give you very good bills, very good reports where you'll be able to track everything and anything you saw with the track at a very high level without having to worry, how much did I spend on expenses this month? Whom did I pay? This M-Pesa message, what was I paying for? If you put that very well and track it in your entries, it will not disappoint you giving you reports. Now, there's a feature where we can do recurring monthly bills, and I will pass that. And since I want to make sure that we cover the basics mostly, the recurring means like rent. I do not want to dive into that, but again, this is a feature that you can use in QuickBooks. And if you want to set a bill as recurring, meaning QuickBooks automatically raises it every month because it knows you pay bill, that particular bill, it can generate that bill automatically. But I want to jump to that and recurring invoices, not for now, as I want to address other high areas of QuickBooks that people have interest in, or rather most of you attendees have mentioned they would want us to spend more time. So before I go to the next step, which is reporting, I want to make sure that we exhaust this area. We've already talked about expenses. We've already talked about purchase orders. Let's see what we have under supplier and what we can do with supplier. If you have a supplier, these are the activities that you can do. You can definitely create a new supplier real quick. I will put one again, XXX, and then we will go ahead and attach any attachment you want, maybe their logo, their whatever, and then their KRA PIN or anything else that you need to put in there. And then we will say what type of expenses, what type of a supplier is this. If they are associated with a particular account, like cost of goods sold. Let's say they have cost of goods sold. Cost of goods sold. No, we don't have that. That's it. What do we have is, yeah, cost of sales. There you go. And you can create them as a supplier. And again, as I go, since the questions will be at the tail end, please feel free to drop the question on Zoom chat so that Marianne can be reviewing them and we can answer them towards the end. So that way you don't forget. So if you have any question, feel free to drop it on the chat. So we'll create that supplier. We started with a clean slate. Hakuwa na deni yetu. There's nothing that he owes us. If he had orders, would have put any opening balance. What are the activities you can do? You can either raise a bill, expense, do a purchase order with that supplier. Supplier, you can give them credit, pay down credit card, import bills. You can do all that, and they are as easy as the other forms and views that I just told you. So I do not want to necessarily jump into, but we can jump into one. Let's say you want to send them a PO. There we go. You're sending a PO. You add the product. Based on a chart of account, you put everything else, and then you send them a PO. So that's how you create purchase orders within the suppliers module of QuickBooks. So again, I'll exit out of that because it's self-explanatory. Let's see what else we didn't cover as far as expenses are concerned. Sales, we've done estimate, customers, products, and services. Now, this is the interesting part. I've had a couple of people wanting to know how to manage stock. So we'll jump into that and say products and services. And I will start from the basics. I will say, as you can see, we had already created our file with a couple of them. T-shirts red, which those are actual physical products. We have people that offer services like lawn mowing, like consulting, that they are not physical products, they are services. So we'll first walk you through how to create a product in QuickBooks, or rather create products and services in QuickBooks. So you can either create it as a service, an inventory item, a non-inventory item, a bundle, or you can do batch import if you're already using Excel, which is something else I'll discuss later. For those that are using, let me just discuss it right now so we don't forget. For those that are using Excel or you're using other softwares, yes, you can export them to QuickBooks Online. All we do is guide you on the headers we want to see on your Excel. That way QuickBooks can be able to read them. Whether they are products, services, customers that are already existing, suppliers that are already existing, they can be moved to QuickBooks Online without you having to type them. All we need you to do is follow a specific way of arranging them. That way QuickBooks can understand them and it can put them online without you having to type. Now, real quick, about this service, of course, we all know what service is. Inventory item means you stock that item. That is stock. You buy, you hold, you sell. Non-inventory means you're kind of like a broker. You don't hold it in your shop. They call, they ask, you don't have it. You call somebody else, they deliver, you sell. So that's an inventory, and you do not want, you just want to see it pass through. You're not tracking stock. Bundle, we of course understand what that is. These items come into two. You buy a candle, you get a matchbox. So that's a bundle. But import, I've just talked about it, and even went above and beyond to say that we can export everything you see from your Excel spreadsheet to QuickBooks Online. So we are going to create an inventory item or stock item. And this stock item, we'll call it Geisha soap. Inventory, and it doesn't have an SKU category. You can add a category like these are, like, let's say, for example, like the way you go to website and see a bathroom needs, or you see car accessories, you can, you can create your own categories within QuickBooks. You can say this is a bathroom item. Is it a class? Is it for that Nairobi tender we had gotten? Let's say yes. That way you track everything you sold through that, under that tender. And then initial quantity at hand. When I was starting to use QuickBooks, how many did I have? I had 20. As of today. Reorder point, when do you want QuickBooks to notify you or beep when you try to sell something that you don't have in stock? Fine. Description, this will save you a lot of time. This is Geisha soap. You see how this works. This is Geisha soap that I use to cut. Now, you will see where these notes will come in handy. When you're creating that product, if you leave these notes here, they will always save you ton of time. A lot of time when typing, when you're raising a receipt for a customer, because these notes will be imported every time you are selling data. So price, $250. Where does QuickBooks post this on your chart of accounts? I wanted to post it on sale of product income. Price is inclusive of sales tax, or rather, let's say is 16%. It's not inclusive. Purchasing details, you can put the name, the stuff about who supplies you data. But we'll skip that for the interest of time. But you can actually relate these to whoever your supplier is. So save and close. Now, item doesn't have an equal cost. We'll just keep it for now. For sales, now if I quickly want to use the same information to do a new transaction and do sales receipt for Geisha, hopefully that column will come up. And I'll pick the item as Geisha. You see, it saves you tons of information. I don't know why it hasn't imported that, but normally this description you're seeing here normally automatically comes to this field. For some weird reason, it hasn't. Maybe because of that error. But that's how it saves you time once you put the description. Instead of keeping typing, it will autofill that. So anyhow, that is how you add. That is how you add an item or a product or service to your QuickBooks Online. Perfect. Now we will see. Let's see whether we've exhausted everything. Yeah, under this we have exhausted everything. Under expenses, we've covered. The report will probably be at the tail end. I want to make sure that that we've covered everything. So I'll quickly run over things like project. I will not dissect because again, this would take a good 2-3 hours to do that. Project, very good for NGO. If you have anything that is very specific to project and you want us to discuss in detail, we'll set time aside for you. Budget, if you have budget and you want to allocate budget for a specific year, we'll set time again for you. For taxes, you've already set up taxes and you've seen you have the 16%. That's something that we help you while you're setting up your QuickBooks to show you how to set up your taxes. Let's jump into the report, because at the end of the day, a software or a platform that does not give you a view of your business may not necessarily be very helpful. At the end of the day, you want to see how is the health of my business. And this is the most important thing, whether you are an owner or an accountant or everybody else is a decision maker, you want to see your report. So we want to go ahead and go to the standard report. We'll go over the very main ones that most owners or managers want to see. We want to see, you can, on this report, you can be able to see all these, and they can be broken down by class, by month, by profit and loss, by detail, profit and loss, by all that. That is as far as business overview is concerned. Then we can go to who owes you, collection reports, all that, open invoices, statement list, unbilled, sales and customers. You want to see who is our cash cow. I mean, customer phone list, sales by customer details, sales by source summary if you have several outlets. Inventory valuation level, if you want to know what is the value of all my inventory. Product service list, they are numerous as far as sales and customers are concerned. You may even want to see the Katenda class you created. How much do we do sales as far as class tender is concerned? All that. You also want to see who owes you and what they owe you. Expense and suppliers, all that you can be able to break it down. What is your tax obligation? For your accountant, what would your accountant be looking for? So for the sake of making sure we save as much time as we can, I'll only pick one report. And we'll look at it. And then you get the idea of how reporting works. So this is a P&L, profit and loss. The profit and loss is covering this year to date. This year to date meaning it is showing you the sales, the cost of sales. It is also showing you expenses. It's showing you other expenses, and it's even showing you your net earnings. And you can customize this to show you the whole year, the financial year, the year to date, everything, last quarter, everything can be broken down, and you can be able to view your profit based on how you want it to be. Since that was quick, let's pick up another one, like for example, inventory, because I know a lot of people are curious about inventory. Inventory, let's say product and services list. You want to see your list of products. There we go. You have Geisha soap. This is how much you sell, and blah, 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 blah. And the services and the consulting, the t-shirts, everything it will show you. And you can even break that down again granularly. Let's see whether we can grab another quick report here. Invoices and open invoices. Who owes us? There we go. These are the customers that who owe you and how much they owe you. But overall, you can see all these on your dashboard. If you just want to have a quick look at everything, you can have it at your dashboard. And the beauty is you can even customize it from your dashboard. You can see everything else that I've talked about, and you can change the duration. And you can even see how you're performing from like the prior month. It will show you 100%. Either your business is doing better or is doing worse. So I think we've been able to cover most of the key areas that QuickBooks Online has, and as far as how it can help empower your business and help you make better decisions, make good, quicker processes, and you're able to raise and be able to have a good visibility of your business in very little way and improve your performance. Now, most people are probably asking themselves, So what is the way forward? I mean, how do I move to the next step? So we definitely have a good way to support you on this. And I know some of you are on spreadsheets like QuickBooks. Are on Excel spreadsheets. Others are using other softwares. Yes, it can be transitioned to QuickBooks Online. There are those that do not have any data anywhere. They are starting afresh. Yes, we can help you set up a new QuickBooks Online file. And then there are also those that are using existing software. Yes, you can transition to QuickBooks Online after we review your data and are able to customize it towards the best of your use. So you can actually be up and running in less than 5 days. And we are extending this offer. And after this, Miriam will send you a link where you can sign up for free for 30 days. You play around with it. You try it with your data. You see how it will work out with your data. And you see whether this is something that you want to try for your company. We are also having you can book a free 30-minute setup call with us, helping you to set up your chart of accounts, helping you to answer questions related to QuickBooks Online. We can give you up to 30 minutes of a free call where you work with one of us to help you set up your QuickBooks Online. So again, you setting up a company, you can start sending invoices and tracking your expenses and everything else, and then you can start reviewing your report. So that's where we are, and we will be able to send you, or we are going to send you a form. If you're interested, we have your email and phone number. You just fill out form if you're interested in QuickBooks Online file. We'll create your file. If you want to reach us, we'll give you a phone number to help you create that file. And then you can have it for 30 days. You can look at it and see what benefit it can bring to your entity, your business, or your company. And then once you're settled, then we can take the conversation from there and see the way forward on that. So if there are any specific questions, I don't know whether Miriam had any specific questions. And since we are over 8 minutes, we are 8 minutes over. I can take maybe a question on or two over Zoom if Miriam doesn't have any question that she has listed for me. So if you want to bring up a question, please go ahead and unmute yourself, and I'll try and address it as best as I can.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Yeah, considering, consultancy of accounts or finance. So if I want to create this, I will have to create every time I have a new client.
If you're signing them up for QuickBooks Online, yes. If it's for your own use, no. The simple way you can do is classify them as either a project or a class. You can use project or class to cluster their income, their expenses, and everything else. But if you're onboarding them to use their very own QuickBooks Online, then you walk them through how to set up their own. But if you're tracking them for your own in-house, classes come in very handy. Classes and projects. You can classify a project based on their customer's name.
Okay, so I will imagine myself as having someone in manufacturing, then that can be one class. If I have an advocate, then that can be another class. If I have someone selling beverages, that's another class, right?
Yes, you're correct on that.
Oh, okay, thank you.
And I'm sure there are people who have very specific questions. Again, we are here and we'll share our contacts. You can reach us out and ask those specific questions. We will also share our email on the form you receive, and you can ask any specific questions you have. So for now, that is a quick QuickBooks overview. Of course, it doesn't take 1 hour to train you on everything. That's why we want to personalize it. If you have a specific need, it will take maybe another few minutes or even another hour to go through your specific needs, and we will be able to provide you with that. So if you have specific questions, we are here to answer them for you. And after this, again, Miriam is going to send you a form that you will fill in and show your interest in QuickBooks, and we'll set you up with a free QuickBooks account for 30 days. And again, I want to thank everybody for taking their time to come in and get a little bit empowered. And we look forward to some response, and we will journey with you in this transition, if you so wish to transition, and we'll help you all the way with QuickBooks Online. Thank you, everyone, for showing up, and you should be receiving an email on your inbox in the next 1 hour. Thank you.
Thank you, John. There's some questions which haven't been answered on the chat. I don't know if you have a minute or two.
Yeah, I do. Marianne, I'm not seeing those questions. Let me go to my Zoom.
Yeah, they're on the chat, kindly.
Okay. What is the cost? What's the cost of the software, monthly or annually? Yes, the cost of the software, the full price of the software per month is you get it for free for the first 30 days. Then after the first 30 days, it will be 2,800 per month, which is half off for the next 6 months. And then after the 7th month, then it's 5,600 per month. If you pay a whole year, we give you 10% discount. Another question. So if I am an account financial, okay, that one I've already answered. For example, if a client clears a balance or tops up, does it capture? Yes, you can go ahead and edit your payment. You can receive partial payment. Yes, you can do that. So every transaction you have to record manually, like if you are paid through M-Pesa, does it capture automatically, or you have to record manually? For the sake of audit, yes, you have to enter how that transaction was paid. Recording assets, yes, that is very doable, and I will not jump into specific, but I will show you this. This all captures everything. It has a chart of accounts which you can record your assets. You can have. Let's look at the chart of accounts real quick. It has all this, including assets, everything. You can liability, everything. You can actually capture them on your chart of account during setup and as an ongoing activity. You can capture assets and liability. Can we get recording of this presentation? You will definitely do that. You get on that form. It will have the YouTube recording for this presentation. Can you put display name to be the same? Yes, you can. As a company name, yes, you can. How do you access individual suppliers or customer ledgers? That is a specific one. For the interest of time, it can be done, but I can show you. Once you send the form, please indicate that, and we'll show you. Can your supplier send you invoices directly to your QuickBooks account? Not necessarily, but once you get the invoice, you can import it to QuickBooks Online. When you send directly, does it give it to them via email? Yes, you can. You can connect that directly to the email. Is the estimate the same as quotation? Estimate is same as quotation, yes. Is the estimate same as a quotation on QB? Yes, it is. Yeah, so I think I've answered most of the questions. And again, if you have a specific one, we'll definitely come back to you and we'll help you answer that question.
Hello, sorry, would you come again on the prices, please, kindly? I think I missed out something.
Okay, all right.
My name is Felix.
The prices are as follows, and thank you for that question. For the next month, it will be half of price, which is 2,800. And then thereafter, it is 5,600 per month. If you pay in a year, if you pay in a yearly basis, then we'll give you 10% off. And that total amount is for 5 concurrent users. So not only you can assign 5 more to use the same account.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, John, for the nice presentation. We'll get in touch. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Sarah. Thank you, everyone, for showing up again. Marianne is sending you information, and then we can pick it up on an individual basis. Thank you, and have a good day.
You too.